I'm Kristina for Broken Dreams and welcome to a new video. So it's been a while since I've vlogged anything because work has been hectic and I don't know, it's everything, life got away from me. But March has been a tough ride. Really, I think today is the 21st. I have read a total of two books, but in effect, like one of them I've been reading for 3 months, so you can't really say that I read it this month. Hello, my dog. And anyways, today what I'm trying to do is read as many books as I can. So we'll see how I do. I have my coffee here. I have my little, oh, do you see book stack here? So what is happening? We're gonna try to read. We're gonna try to finish Amal Unbound because that's what I started, and I'm like about an hour until the end. I will try to read Imre Kertész's Fatelessness, which I was supposed to read for Translate-a-thon, and I did not. So that's what's happening. And I'm overdue to return it to the library, so it would be good to read it because I feel bad for not reading it until now. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So I'm kind of going now, and I'll check in with you when I hopefully get some reading done. Hi again. So I'm roughly at like 100-page mark in Fatelessness. That's the first thing I started reading because I have to get it back to the library. So for now, it actually it's not what I was expecting. So we have Georg Koves, who is a 15-year-old Jewish boy who gets rounded up with his fellow workers from well, I'm not sure where he was working, but he was working somewhere by government orders, and he gets sent to Auschwitz-Birkenau, and the descriptions are very clinical and very non-emotional, so it's very interesting to read because I'm actually not really invested. I'm not or maybe I've read so much about this topic that I'm really desensitized to it, but it feels very, so he's like a 15-year-old boy, so he's mostly confused, bored, kind of accepts what's happening to him and just goes with the flow. So it's really quite a very different take and perspective on this whole topic than all the other books and accounts that I've read so far. So that makes it really interesting, and I really am kind of going on, and I'm interesting to see what happens next because we're just still at the beginning. Here I am again, the second checkpoint. So I'm almost at the 200-page mark of Fatelessness, and we are following Georg as he is transferred from Auschwitz to Buchenwald and then to a small work camp near Buchenwald called Zeitz. And basically, these 100 pages are his like his transformation from being this boy full of hope and still joy and laughter and being with his mates, although in really deplorable conditions, and obviously something terrible is happening to them, to becoming a person whose body has wiltered and is no longer not usable, but it's hunger and not eating and working at the same time really takes its toll. It's also about his mental state, where he goes from being this still positive person to a person who just plainly exists, and even comes to a point where he doesn't really feel any pain or hunger, or even like different weather conditions, if it's raining or if it's sunny, he it just exists in this state of just, and it's really difficult to read. I find the style a bit tense. There's like ginormous, almost like the entire chapter is one big paragraph, and it's sometimes very difficult to get through the sentences because although it's interesting and there's a lot of descriptions and some good metaphors, there's still, a lot of commas and not a lot of, like, it just, I'm not used to reading this type of text, so I guess that's why I'm having a tough time with it. But I still think for now it's really worth the read. I am going to repeat that it is a bit clinical and documentary. You don't get a lot of emotions out of him, but I'm a very emotional person. I like to get really invested in my characters. So this might even read more as nonfiction, and maybe that's what's kind of bugging me because I didn't perceive it as such. But it still doesn't really, you know, take away from the topic or what is said here. I finished Fatelessness by Imre Kertész. And in the final part of the book, we follow Georg as he is transferred back to Buchenwald and spends his time there until the camp's liberation. And basically, we're following him as he is in a much better state. I mean, not physically because he is injured, but he is getting better treatment. He is in a, nicer bed. He's actually getting better food because of his injury, and he is just kind of contemplating what happened, his thoughts about stuff, and in the end, he actually gets to go home after the liberation. And the one thing that struck me the most is the fact that the book is actually just, it covers the span of a single year. And so many things happen to this boy within a single year. And I think the fact that it's so described so just like not intensely just kind of almost makes you skim over, like you go over the stuff where he does mention beatings, he does mention really bad things happening to him. He mentions other uh, people in the camp working for the Germans and like just trying to survive, and you just kind of, you just, because of the way it's written, I think you lose the impact a bit. um but overall I think it was really like it was a really good read, and I would uh definitely recommend it. Like it's something like different to what is there in the genre usually, and yeah, I think it was good. I will move on to Amal Unbound because I have really like a little to go through. So this is the story of Amal from Pakistan who gets sent to be a servant in this big shots plantation, who kind of lends money. He's basically a money lender and he runs the little village where she lives, because she kind of talks back to him on the road while she doesn't really know who he is, but her father is indebted to this man, so kind of she has to go there to work off her debt. And the sad thing is that she really wants to get educated and become a teacher, and she is really invested in that. And we basically start off the book in the first chapter with a sentence: this is the last day she sees and goes to school. And it's basically devastating from that very beginning because you get to see how much she appreciates that, and how much she fights for her little sisters to have an education, and just from the onset to know that she is not going to have that opportunity is really upsetting. So I'm roughly halfway through where she actually get got to the like to the place where she is now supposed to work, and I guess now I'll read what happens there. Okay, so a bit of a check-in. This is really difficult to read. This is a 12-year old girl that really has dreams and wants to do something with her life. And she's seeing her friends kind of flourish, her sisters learn new things. And oh my god, Snoopy! Say hi. This is Snoopy. And she she's just stuck in this servant position, and she can't do anything. And the way the servitude is in like envisaged is a way where she cannot get out of it, and you're just watching her come to terms with all these realities that a 12-year-old shouldn't deal with, like, seeing her parents, her family kind of move on. Not, I mean, obviously they miss her, but life goes on, and seeing that their life went on and feeling like a guest in their house, although like that's the only place where she belonged, and seeing her friends find new friends, and just seeing the unfairness of the entire system, or the unfairness of being forced to be there, to not have an education, to basically find a new family, because technically this is where she's going to spend her life. And it's just so heartbreaking to basically see her heart break one little chunk at a time. And just, I don't know, it's just, it really is a really difficult read. So I've got like maybe half an hour to go, so we'll see what happens next. So I finished Amal Unbound, and oh my god, just read it. Everybody, just read it. It was amazing. So amazing. Such a well written middle grade, and I just have a million praises for it. It deals with literacy, injustices, indentured servitude, um, fighting for your rights, not, just caving in to bullies. Um, just, it was amazing. I have no words. There was a point in the book where I almost cried, and just, it was just a brilliant book. I'm so glad I read this. Just, yeah, I'm really like, under an impression, really good impression right now. Let's just close this off. I won't vlog anymore because it's already like I think almost 9 in the evening. I might start another book today, but just since I won't finish it, doesn't need to go into the vlog. But I managed to finish 2 books today. Okay, one and a half. But I finished Fatelessness by Imre Kertész, which was okay. I think I will give it 3 stars. It was an interesting semi-autobiographical work of fiction, and it was really good. It was a different perspective. It was written like in a different way than other World War II and concentration camp books. But it was a bit dense in style. There was just very, very, very long sentences with a lot of introductions, so that kind of made it a bit difficult to read for me. And then I read finished Amal Unbound by Aisha Saeed, and that was amazing. 5 stars. Just I want to reread this book. I want to actually get this book in physical format and have it so I can read it sometimes to my children, some future children. I just that was such a brilliant read. I highly recommend it. And yes, that is it. Please like, share, subscribe. Press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos. There are important links down below in the description, so please do check them out. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.